Hey buddy, you want to learn about film theory? Today we're going to talk about film climaxes. Now what's a climax? A climax is the point of highest tension in a story, which leads to the turning point towards the eventual resolution via what we call the denouement. It's when all of the plot lines and character arcs come together and coalesce in one big moment. And now let's look up climax in the dictionary. Oh, it's just a picture of the Shrek 2 DVD.
What are you doing in my swamp?
And action. What's up, everybody? My name is Max Kinchin. I'm a sometimes filmmaker and screenwriter, and far more often film talker about her, and this is a kitchen sink production. So today I thought I'd change it up and talk a little about film structure and film theory. And I want to talk about the concept of the film climax, as it is the most exciting part of the story and what often writers tend to be working towards when they build their screenplays. But first, it'd be really exciting to me if you could give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So yeah, you saw the opener right. I posit that none other than 2004's Shrek 2 has one of the best, most quintessential film climaxes of modern cinematic history. Is Shrek 2 better than Shrek 1? Debatable. But when it comes to a film climax that perfectly brings all the film's themes, character arcs, and even music cues together in one winner-take-all moment, which is what a good film climax should always strive to do, Shrek 2 is one of the great modern examples of a quintessential film climax that we have in modern contemporary cinema history. And I stand by this stance on a 19-year-old sequel to the movie that gave us All-Star. And I will defend this stance against any of you who at me in the comments. But please do at me in the comments because engagement helps these types of videos and we're a baby channel. Okay, so to best show why Shrek 2 has the best cinematic climax, we need to first talk about film structure and a concept called rising action. In the broadest terms, rising action is the tension or drama that starts out low and slow around the time of the inciting incident and then builds with the story's progression and rising stakes in the build-up to the climax. A well-written script will have the different threads of character arcs and tensions all essentially building in relation with each other as the events of the story unfold. And then the best climaxes will have all of those threads come together in one winner-take-all moment that changes the course of everyone's arcs and points them all towards the falling action section of the story, also known as the denouement, which eventually brings us home to the ending and rolling of the credits, or in the case of a Shrek movie, the karaoke sequence. So let's break down Shrek 2's rising action, the plot threads, the character arcs, and the key moments to see how they all come together in the epic I Need a Hero climax sequence. After cramming in nearly all of the early 2000s pop culture references into the opening honeymoon montage, the story of Shrek 2 kicks off with Donkey showing back up at the swamp, followed by a summons from Fiona's parents, calling for the newlyweds to come to Far, Far Away to receive the royal blessing over their union to allow Shrek to become a part of a family, something he's never had before. When they arrive in Far, Far Away as their true selves, with Fiona surprising everyone in her ogre form and not her redhead Cameron Diaz form thanks to the character development they both achieved at the end of Shrek 1, the reception is pretty dismal, making them feel bad about themselves and the choices they've made thus far. After it becomes apparent that Fiona's parents will never accept them for who they really are, Shrek and Fiona get separated and Shrek is eventually presented with the option to drink a happily ever after potion that will make them both fine. Wanting to save their marriage, Shrek drinks it and suddenly both he and Fiona become hot, non-ogre versions of themselves in order to be accepted by Fiona's parents and the kingdom. Fiona goes back to redhead Cameron Diaz form and Shrek becomes a square-jawed, Rob Gronkowski-bodied human version of himself. Little do they know, of course, that this winds up all being part of a plot by the evil fairy godmother and her aptly named son, Prince Charming, to allow the prince to swoop in on Fiona and assume the role of her husband as a low-key, bloodless coup to allow them to take over Far, Far Away. Because they go through this part of their journey separately, Fiona doesn't know what hot Shrek looks like, so Fairy Godmother tricks her into thinking that the evil Prince Charming is actually new Shrek. Meanwhile, Hot Shrek, along with stud steed Donkey, have learned that if Fiona and fake Hot Shrek share true love's kiss, by midnight, then she'll be bound to him in her current form, and Prince Charming will become her new beau and heir to the throne of Far, Far Away. After a dark night of the soul moment where Shrek regrets getting everything he thinks he ever wanted, Shrek knows he needs to stop the kiss and set things right, raising the stakes and setting the stage for the climactic showdown, where he needs to get back to the ball that's happening at the castle and stop the kiss before midnight at any cost.
Ogres are like onions.
Thematically, Shrek 2 explores the concepts of inner beauty, being true to and loving yourself for who you are, choosing the right thing over the easy thing, and not worrying about what others think of you, especially when it comes to looks, to name just a few. Prince Charming's gambit to get the kiss and bind the unogrified Fiona to him is a perfect catalyst of these themes as the thing that must be stopped in the climax. The themes are all at their most potent with the highest stakes at the climax, leading to a winner-take-all moment in which everyone's goals will either be met or failed, and in which the good guys will either win or lose, a moment of truth in which each character's philosophies will be tested and either come out to be true or be proven wrong. Real Shrek, Stallion Donkey, Mondo, and the rest of the crew rush into the castle to stop Fiona from kissing Prince Charming while Fairy Godmother sings Bonnie Tyler's fitting, albeit very on the nose, I Need a Hero. Everyone's playing their hands. This is all or nothing. The future of Far, Far Away, and Shrek and Fiona's happiness is all on the line. With the ball in full swing inside the castle, Shrek rides the giant gingerbread man Mondo towards the castle while the troops on the walls ready their defenses. Inside the castle, Prince Charming keeps trying to go in for the kiss, only for a suspicious Princess Fiona to keep blocking his advances. As the two spar and parry and dance, we cut back to outside the castle where we get some truly impressive shots of Mondo approaching the castle. I mean, this shot right here is peak cinema, and I don't care what anyone says. Mondo makes the ultimate sacrifice so the rest of the crew can get into the castle, where each of the characters gets their hero moment. Donkey leaps over the soldiers, and Puss stays to fight them off to repay his debt and complete his arc. Shrek then bursts through the doors, screaming, "Wait!" just as Charming is about to get that kiss, and his jig is up. All of the themes of the movie are explored in these 2 minutes of tense action, with the soundtrack laying it out in the lyrics of the Bonnie Tyler song, as well as playing the literal hero themes from the Shrek soundtrack intertwined. If Shrek doesn't burst in when he does, it's too late and it's all over. He only gets there in time because he and his crew are fully embodying the heroes they have become over the course of their arcs in this one moment. The conflict between Shrek and Fiona's desire to be accepted by society and their true identities as proud ogres is resolved in front of the entire kingdom as they embrace each other in their ogre forms. As the climax comes to a close, the falling action and denouement tie the loose ends up and bring the story to a satisfying conclusion. Shrek and Fiona are happily reunited, and Fiona's parents come to accept them for who they are. This could only play out so smoothly in these final moments because the good guys win by being true to themselves in that crystallizing climax. And then everyone does karaoke because it's a Shrek movie. And that's why the I Need a Hero sequence of Shrek 2 is a perfect cinematic climax. Now, should all cinematic climaxes be structured this way? Of course not. But it's a really good one to think about when you're structuring your own script for you screenwriters out there. I actually have a period monster screenplay based on the Golem of Prague that got an 8 on the blacklist with a climax involving almost all of the characters winding up in the same location with the fates of all involved being decided in a singular moment that brings everything together. Did I have Shrek 2 in mind when I wrote this? Yes. Yes, I did. Also, special shout out to Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, a sequel to a spin-off of Shrek 2 that manages to do all of what I described in this climax and more. Seriously, if you're sleeping on that one because it's a spin-off to a sequel, go see it. And that's about it for me and Doug this time. If you made it this far, would greatly appreciate that like and a subscribe. Keep an eye out for more content more regularly from us here on out. Stay true to yourselves, think of your movie structures and themes like onions. They have layers. We'll catch you on the next one. Tail slates. Yeah, we got it? Okay, let's go.